Welcome back. Here we are once again in Mill Park out at Mozambik Eatery, the restaurant that is making all the news these days because this is where we're doing Rugby Scamtho. I'm here with Nolbabalo Mkwabeni. It's your birthday today. We should be singing Happy Birthday, lady.
Thank you.
Yeah, as well as with Mac Messina. Guys, the Carling Curry Cup final came and went. But before we go into that, I think it's a really special day to be talking about a fellow Aquarian who's celebrating your birthday on a cold, wintry summer's day in Joburg.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's been okay. It's a lovely day. I'm taking the rain as a blessing.
Yes.
I'm happy.
In Africa, we're grateful for the rain, right?
We're grateful for the rain. And then it can stop tomorrow, it's fine. But today it can rain. I'm happy with it.
It's got to rain for the whole week, eh?
Cool. It is good for the whole week, like it did last week.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not too happy, I would imagine, is I know, but we spoke about this the last time around when the Lions got kicked out in the semi. But the Bulls was one team that you were hoping would not win. You were hoping that the Sharks would take the final from last week, right?
Yeah, well, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was a very, very close game. Game started, you could see that the Sharks, they were really just on the roll, pound to pound. But the Bulls, once again, they did what they were supposed to do. Slowly but surely, they were just chipping in. Even if I could tell that the Bulls, they looked as if they were under pressure when you look at the scoreboard. But if you look at the players themselves, the way they carry on onto the field, you couldn't really just pick up that they're under pressure. So I think, at the end of the day, the best team really just won, because we all know that the Bulls, they've been in these situations a lot where it's just that 3, 4, 5 points that they need, and then eventually, they got away with it. I mean, they were quite chuffed, because for them, I think it was huge. They haven't won the Curry Cup for like years, if I'm not mistaken, about 9 years or 8 years.
Since 2009.
Yeah, so it was the first time where they bring the so-called our national tradition and glory right in Pretoria, so they were very happy about that.
So first time they're going to silverware.
I think it's been good.
Nolly, your prediction was quite close. I think it was closer than all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you see this one? I mean, like, look, we knew. I thought that the Bulls would take it. I think, if I remember correctly. But the point is, yours was that much closer. You saw it coming, and being right. How does that feel?
I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy about it. I felt like the Bulls were going to take it. It was just a prediction, but I feel like I knew that eventually they'll have that breakthrough and they'll be able. I mean, the Bulls came out with a chilling warming towards the Sharks at the beginning of the game, whilst the Sharks actually came to the game with a body blow game. Okay, I must say it really helped the Sharks as they capitalized, and it helped them to score when Steyn gave away the penalty by the 22-meter line. That was a good game for them. Also, I feel like the Sharks also lost it in some aspects. Let's look at their line-outs. Their line-outs, they lost a couple of line-outs, and it wasn't a nice thing. I don't know, maybe we should blame the game, the lightning, the weather, but they had a break and they had to come back for a kill. But
a couple of things stood out for me in this particular match. Yeah. We spoke about it possibly being test rugby style final, right? But the missed kicks, there were numerous missed kicks. There was some like 12, 15 points just left on the field that weren't converted by Coe and Bosch. Yeah. The lightning was something else. I mean, the match actually being stopped. The fact that it went all the way till just before the end of extra time, that the Bulls fly half also missed the possible winning kick just before they went into extra time. Jaco Paper himself, he was chirping away. This particular match had everything in it. All the drama that you want in a final was found in this particular match.
You are so correct. I mean, when I was looking at this game, I was like, it has never happened before, ever, in any other Curry Cup final that I've ever known or seen, or any other game where they'll have to stop, especially in the final, and restart again. And then on top of that, boom, there's extra time. And then on top of that, the people that they will really rely on, like you are saying, the fly halves, where I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Bosch missed about 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Morningstein as well just missed about a couple. And then Smith, where the whole time and
could have taken it.
I mean, I thought today, here we go. I actually went out in the kitchen to try and make coffee. I thought, okay, the game is over. Boom, when I come back, no way he's missed it. Then I was like, wow, there's an opportunity for the Sharks. Once again, the Sharks came back. they just couldn't really manage just to close the game. But you know the Bulls, once they can just sniff that thing, you could see that they were going to win after that, because they ended up really just scoring a try, brilliant try, where once again, if you see that last try, you know, for Arno Botha, where it came from just the brutal play of the forwards just grinding in and hitting it in and just waiting for that opportunity. Eventually, one or two players from the Sharks just really just lost their cool in terms of defense. Boom, then they scored, and then it was over. But then again, great game really just to watch. You know, it could have been nice if that Loftus Stadium was really full of Pretoria people, because that game was there for the people to really watch, to sit in the stadium. Yes, we couldn't, but then again, excellent game really just to watch.
You know, there's one thing. I mean, that training ground try by the Sharks just before halftime, that really for me was, I thought, was signaling a death blow for the Bulls. Yes, I know the Bulls have always have been coming back in the second half from a deficit and have done it a few times.
Yeah.
But I thought that the way that the Sharks were now taking the game to the Bulls, and the way with that try, the Sharks would have been able to keep that going. How were the Bulls able to just keep doing that? Like, deficit first half, second half, they turn it around and actually managed to eke out a win.
With the Bulls, I felt like when they came back in the second half, the sun was out, they were ready to run the ball, and also what they did, the Bulls actually came out very eager and strong. That's when they started to play their game. They deflated the ball, and they also were able to kick a lot of penalties into the Sharks penalty area. So they were able to kick a lot of goals from there. So that's how I think the Bulls actually came back and put so much pressure. That's why even the beautiful try by Botha was excellent, and they managed to win the game.
So I'm going to ask you guys this question, right? In terms of like match temperament, big match temperament, there's a point where Hendricks, the Sharks scrummy, darted inside instead of passing the ball. Just like a few minutes before the 80-minute mark, instead of passing the ball and keeping the ball going, he decided to actually dart in.
Yeah.
Was that the wrong call at that time?
Yeah, look, I think as any other scrum half, you know, they'll always try just to see if they can back themselves, especially when they're close to the try line. It's just about doing it at the right time at the right place, you know. Could have been really, you know, a good decision if it really just went through and score. But then again, if you look at, the players on the outside, perhaps maybe, you know, then the right call was probably just to play it wide and try just to set it up again and all that stuff, because that one was critical. Immediately after that ball was pounced by Grobler, you know, a very good player who I really think that, you know, he's the one for the future. But then again, it was just one of those things as well. Sometimes, you know, as number nines, if you're not going to be really, you know, just in their ear and making sure that you want the ball, they're going to go check it themselves. It's just their natural thing, you know. You got to be constantly be there so that they can feel that you're there. But I don't think that someone else really just, was there for him. So he just decided just to take the responsibility for me. It was not to be. Yeah. But then on the other hand as well, I mean, defense of the Bulls, I really thought that it was great, because that was, for me, that was the game changer for me. You know, sometimes in a game, you look at the game, you always look at the game and watch which moments really just turned the game. I reckon that was the one that really just turned the game.
But before you get to that Anabota try, when at the 79th minute, when Fassi caught the ball, did that ball cross the line or not? That long kick, did it cross the line? Because it was dicey. It was too close for comfort. Looking at the replays, it seemed from one angle that he was in the right. That ball, that long ball that was kicked, when he threw it back in.
Don't ask me, because I'm going to say he was one of the right. Maybe you must just speak to her. you know who was rooting for.
Yes, we know you wanted the Bulls not to win. What do you think? Did that ball cross the line or not when Fassi threw it in?
Well, I think they were lucky there. Yeah. Like any other sport or game where you will get that bounce, you know, on your side. I think they, you know, it really just favored the Bulls, and then they pounced after that. They were right in there, because kick was great. It was right inside, you know, up between the 10 and the 22, and then the Bulls, that's their space. This is where you'll see the Bulls just try just to play their game. You don't really see them just play the game inside their half. They want to be inside their half, especially between the 10-meter line and the 22-meter line, or inside their 22. This is where now you'll see how are they capable of doing things. That's the Bulls team.
26-19, they ended up taking it, their first silverware since 2009. Jake White coming through to take over the reins at the Bulls. Obviously, has made a massive difference. He himself is a World Cup winning coach.
Yes.
We're talking about World Cup winning coaches. We're now faced with Rassie Erasmus and Jacques Nienaber, who need to have looked at what's been happening over the last season, with Super Rugby Unlocked and Currie Cup form, and then make calls on who the Springbok 15 would be. We know the British and Irish Lions tour is sort of like under a cloud now, right now, not sure is it going to be played or not. We know Australia has actually made an offer.
Just came back saying that they want to host it. They like their mullahs.
They like their mullah.
Benefit.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I think it's a good thing, for me. If you look at the world rugby, they're trying to help as much as we can because of the pandemic. But then again, it wouldn't be actually a bad idea, for the game to be played in Australia. The weather is very good. It's going to definitely suit us as South African for us just to play there. It's quick as well. It's just one flight away. You're in Perth, you're in Sydney, so we might get more supporters out there. And then I think it's just in terms of the neutrality of it, it could be the right place. But then again, if they want to host, they really got to make sure that they pay a lot of money. And I don't see that it could be a problem. And obviously for us as South African, if it's not being played there, it's going to be a big blow for us. But then again, I don't think that it's a bad idea at all because of what's been happening in the world and all that stuff. And with a couple of players that have been to Australia, with the Super Rugby, they are used to the conditions there and just all that stuff. So it's going to be hot, similar weather like us here.
So they'll be able to adjust and play,
so we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. In fact, I think one of the key reasons could be Andy Marinos moving across to head up Rugby Australia. Because he's left Sansa now. He was the CEO of Sansa for 6 years or so. He's now Rugby Australia chief. And he's probably the one who's like, hey, bring it over here.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
But with that said, Jacques Nienaber and Rassie have got this bit of a headache. Do they tinker with a World Cup winning team that just like, a year and a half, 2 years ago, won the Rugby World Cup? Or do they look at what they've seen currently in terms of informed Currie Cup players, informed players like Damien Allende, who's out playing at Munster, and so forth, in terms of who that 22-man squad is going to be? What do they do? Do you have predictions as to who it is that should be in the 22-man squad, or at least they run on 15? Who do you have?
For me, okay, can he start? Because mine is a bit spontaneous. I want new change. I'm very spontaneous.
No, cool. We'll see.
Look, just looking at the players that have performed well, I think first thing is first. It's going to be very critical to know exactly what Rassie Erasmus he wants to achieve. I think there's two ways. You could say, okay, fine, I'm going to pick a lot of the youngsters that will really just...
Hold on a second. Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Rassie is the director, right?
Yeah.
And Nienaber is now head coach.
Yeah, Rassie's still the boss, yeah.
Yes, he's still the
Case
boss.
closed.
You heard him.
Yeah.
He's still the main man.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. There's two ways. One is just to try and say, okay, fine, let me just blend all these youngsters as much as I can. 2-3 years down the line, they'll be representing us into the next World Cup and defend. And then second is like, what? Let me pick the best, the most experienced players playing against the British Lions and making sure that I win it and put something else then, because we will know that Rassie and Jacques Nienaber, they've got the World Cup and they've got, the series. So just by me saying that, personally, I really think that he's going to probably just get to quite a few overseas players that I really think that he'll definitely want to pick in terms of just making sure that, they're in the squad, the likes of Faf and, the Allende who's playing in Munster and all that stuff. You'll probably just get quite a few players to make sure that at the end of the day they win. And then secondly, I know Rassie personally. He's just one of those guys that if you perform very well, it doesn't matter whether you're 18, you're 16, you're 20. If you're good enough, he's going to play you. And he will try and mix with quite a few guys that I think we need a little bit of experience with the Dwaynes who can really just calm one or two players down and all that stuff. and if they really just want to pick their side. But then again, what I've looked at, from my side, I've looked at only the Currie Cup. I didn't even touch on the players that are overseas. I've just looked at our core players that are right here at home, and I thought, the players that are really just done very well for me, I've got them down here. I'm not too sure whether I must just shoot and just tell you exactly which players that I really thought that they've done very well this year.
We want to know, but we also want to know if Siya Kolisi at number 6.
Well, that's
is he
another thing.
is he the best number 6 that South Africa can produce, can put in a green and gold, or would he just make it purely because he's Rassi's captain and he's got the right kind of mentality to lead the side that Rassi wants on the field?
Yeah.
Let's start there at number 6. What would you put? Who would you put there?
Not for me. I mean, regardless of what, Siya needs to play it because he's the captain.
Yeah.
He's done it, been there, done that. He's a very good leader.
Right.
I know for a fact when I was just counting off how many games that he has played since the World Cup. I mean, I can really just count with my hands, with my actually fingers. It's 3 or 4 games that I really thought that Siya has really played. But then again, there's injuries, and all that stuff.
Right.
But then again, if there will be a national team that needs to be played in the next 2-3 months, I'm sure Siya will be really ready. I mean, we've seen it, a couple of seasons back where John Smith was the captain. I mean, we all knew very well that
And Bismarck was the better hooker.
It's exactly the same when we won the World Cup with Francois Pinard.
Yeah.
He was not the best number 6. We all know that. There was Robin Kruger who was there. I mean, there was Otto from province where we really thought that they were great.
Yeah.
But then again, they never really just got an opportunity. I think sometimes picking the right captain and the leader, it can really just take you very far.
All right.
People might not like it, but then again, hey, what can you do?
Do you agree, Nolly?
I actually agree. I feel like Siya is a great leader. We saw it when he led the Springboks to win, and we saw it now when he was leading his own team. Western Cape, I feel like when Western Cape was playing without Siya, like look at the last game when he had to go out, there was a bit of a doubt you can see in the team that they were not comfortable enough. But when he's there, he leads the team, he gives them that inspiration. He's not the best, there are other number 6 that are best, but I feel like Siya has the drive and
He's
has
got
the
that urge. I mean, he's a leader.
Okay, let's look at the tight 5. Give us your tight 5.
Right. So my boys that I really thought that they've really done well for me.
Yes.
At Lucet Prop,
Yep.
I've got Oxen Chair and Boan Fenta.
Okay.
Boan Fenta, I know not too many people have really seen him play or have watched him play. It's the tight end prop from the Cheetahs. Out of all the games that he has played, I think he smashed almost everyone. He smashed the Lions, he smashed the Cheetahs. I beg your pardon, he smashed the Sharks when they played against the Bulls. He was really outstanding. It's just that, the Cheetahs, well, they were just chucked away in this competition very early. So that's why we couldn't really see him playing in the semi-finals and obviously the finals and just all that stuff.
Right.
So at hooker, I'll definitely just go with Bongi Mbonambi. And of course, I have actually picked, Johan Grobler as well as another hooker.
Yeah.
Bongi Mbonambi, for me, if you look at the province team, the whole overall province team, he was one of outstanding team. He was really just sticking out all by himself.
Yeah.
So hence I have him there, plus with a little bit of experience and just all that stuff. I don't want to mess around with the tight 5.
Right.
It's actually with the loose, with the number 3, just a tight head prop, I'm definitely going to be going for Trevor. Trevor, for me, I've seen him play since he was still under 21s, all these other seasons. This year, it was the first time you see Trevor play for the whole season and play for 60 minutes, 80 minutes and all that stuff, which I really thought that it was good as well. For him just to be consistent like that, it was great. I mean, if not Trevor is there, Malherbe can actually play.
So, but just hold on a second now. That front row, I'm thinking.
You're smiling. I know why you're smiling.
Lizo.
Yeah.
What about Lizo? What about Kitshoff? What about Faiz Limbata from the Sharks? You've mentioned Frans Malherbe himself.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank. What about those guys?
Look, let me talk about Lizo. Lizo, for me, when I looked at the team that I've actually picked, these are the guys that have played more games, who's been very consistent with their unions. Lizo really just came back for the Bulls, just like 2, 3, 4, 5 games. He really just finished off very, very well. But I really looked at the guys that have really worked hard. I mean, Lizo was injured. He didn't even play the Super Rugby thingy. But then again, he's the one as well that we all know that we can't be doubting his capabilities. He's quite good. Malherbe, I didn't pick him purely because, for me, if I look at the province team with the team that they had, I really thought that they were going to really just dominate. But
and they didn't.
He played, yes, but when it comes to pure form and consistently players that have done very well, you're definitely going to go with Trevor, Bongi, of course with Oxenche, which I really thought that he has done very well when he played against the Bulls this past weekend. He was right there, held his own, he was there making sure that he makes things happen. And I think that those are the big men, up in front for me.
And the flanks?
You want me just to continue with
Please
the
do carry on. Please do carry on.
The locks, I'll definitely go with Willem Alberts, not because he's a Lions player. Looking at the Lions, he was a go-to man for me. He took the ball very well up. He made sure that he gained the momentum. He's been very great in defense. I mean, there were a couple of hits that I really thought that, he made a huge difference there. And then the other lock forward that I could really just pick was Salmon Morat, because I really thought out of the province team that I've seen, he was the one that I really thought that he was okay. However, the Sharks had Ruan, van Heerden, who was very good for them as well. And then, of course, Carl Werner, the captain of the Cheetahs, I really thought that he captained the team very well. He kept them going. I mean, Cheetahs, we all know that they didn't really have anyone else that can really just take all these other teams. I really thought that he was standing tall and trying just to release troops and all that stuff. So those were my locks forwards that I really thought that I can really just go for.
Back row?
6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
Very difficult one for me.
You got Skumbuzo Noche, right?
I'm coming there. 6, 7, and 8. Marco van Staden from the Bulls. He was outstanding for me. But then again, if you look at the other number 6 that was outstanding, you look at Jaco Kriel. However, it was Jaco Kriel who was performing very well, but I really don't think that it was the Jaco Kriel that we've seen 2-3 years back.
With the Lions.
Where he was really destroying everyone. Richardson from the Sharks, I really liked him as well. Up and young and coming youngster, it's still 2021. He's the one for the future as well. And then at 7, for me, there are 2 7s that I really thought that they've performed very well for me. Chituka and Elrich Lowe, both of them are youngsters. Chituka was a go-to man. I mean, I remember he missed 1 or 2 Lions game. You could see that the Lions looked a little bit lost. They didn't have anyone else who was taking almost everyone on. Elrich Lowe, he's the one for the future. I've picked him because he has learned a lot, in the likes of the Bulls setup, and then he's just came a long way. And the boy that has really played his rugby in Potchefstroom, and all of a sudden just finding himself just playing for the Bulls, that should really just give you something about that player itself. And then at 8, there's no great brainer. Well, Dwayne van Hulen, for me, he was the man really who has done very well. But of course, with Skumbuz and Noche on the side there, but I'll definitely just go with that Dwayne there. So that's really my tight 5 that I can say, okay, fine guys, go out and make sure
that's the pack. That's the pack you'd run out with. Now coming to you, Nolly, let's have a look at the halfback pairing, scrum half and fly half. I know some people will be talking about maybe Papier, from the Bulls, Ambrose Papier, maybe Yankees. What do you have in there? Who do you have as your number 9 and number 10?
Okay, for my scrum half, I actually have Nohamba.
Nohamba?
Yes.
Okay.
Nohamba for me, I feel like Nohamba is a great player. He really outplayed. Yankees is there. I also like Yankees a lot, but I feel like Nohamba's got great potential. When he's there, you have to be alert. Otherwise, he's there to distract you. As a scrum half, we need that. So he had his own times where he actually distracted the other scrum halves.
He was actually a nuisance, if you can put it that way.
Yes, he was. He was a nuisance. People got irritated, and he was all there. So that's why I'm going with Nohamba for me as a scrum half.
Yeah.
And then when we look at what else? My right wings.
Yes.
Okay, my right wing, it will be Spoon Kosi.
I've got him down as well. I mean, Spoon Kosi for me, he was my right wing as well.
I feel like he was outstanding. He outplayed a lot of players there. He did very well. I really like him. I'm a great fan, and I feel like he's got
Like
great
him because
potential.
he's cute, or
No,
because
no,
of his
no,
brand?
no,
Just
not,
checking.
no. Besides
Just
the
checking.
Besides the cuteness, because I play wing, I feel like
He's the guy.
He inspires me. If I
Yeah.
can play like that, he's got tricks there. I was looking like, oh, if I can do this, then
Yeah.
you see. So I really think he's also a good player for me as a wing. And then the outside center will be Lucanio M. Lucanio M for me. Lucanio M also played like he outplayed other players for me. I can't compare him to anyone for my side. I can't compare him to anyone. Yes.
Do you think like a center pairing of Cornel Hendricks and Lucania M could work? I don't know. What do you have there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got here. I've got Lucanio M at 13, but slash Smelani.
Okay.
I will tell you
1D.
why. Because look, Lucanio M, once again, he has grown as a player and as a leader. I mean, we saw what happened in the final. But however, I wouldn't just mind just to throw someone like Smelani in the mix, because I know what he can do. You know, for me personally, you know, as a coach or as a team that I would want to have a player that when he touches the ball, the opposition must worry.
Yeah.
You know, so Smelani has got that. So
Definitely.
I'll have to find him a way, you know, either way.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how and just all that stuff. But at outside center, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys or all of us will probably just go with Hendricks. Hendricks from the Bulls, very steady, you know, quick, fast, explosive, takes the ball. I mean, man of the match in the final. It could be man of the series if I'm not mistaken. You know, we'll see. We're probably just gonna wait for that. So those were really just my two centers combination, but not for getting someone like, you know, Rikas Pretorius from you know, the province. Really thought that they've done very well. Him and Dan Krell, those two, you know, as centers, you know, up and young and coming centers. I really thought that they've done very well. But out of all my center pairing and all that stuff, Similani, I would have really just find him a way there. Or maybe I could really just start with Hendricks plus Lucanio M, you know. If a little bit of old toppies are getting a little bit tired, then I must throw in Similani there with his magic right at the end.
I'm going to go with the back three, like the two wings and full back, before we go into your ideas of the halfback pairing.
Yeah.
So left wing, right wing, full back. Who do you have in there?
Jesus, for me, the left wing, there's no brainer. I've got Stefano Jacobs from the Bulls. He's the find of the season. I don't care who says what. For me, he is the find of the season. This is the player that has played under 21 this year, just in the competition of you know, the Bulls just beating the Lions in the finals, and boom, he's finding himself just playing more games at left wing, you know, for the Bulls. And then of course at right wing again, you know, I'll definitely just go for Smoo. I really thought that Smoo was very outstanding, although there were times where I felt as if perhaps maybe he was not fed a lot of the balls for him just to do the damage. But then again, as soon as he touches the ball, I mean, there was one time where he came in as a sub. That was amazing. His first touch of the ball, they kicked the ball, you know, just restarting the ball. First touch of the ball, he came in, he chased, boom, he got the ball, then he scored. For me, I was like, oh, voila, that's the class player for me.
Right.
Right time, right place, using those opportunities, all that stuff. And, you know, it was so great for me. And
Fullback?
at fullback, Noddy, who you got at fullback? Maybe let's just start with Noddy. Willemse.
Yeah.
Ah,
Willemse.
All right.
okay,
I have
okay.
Willemse as my fullback.
Cute, eh?
Okay.
Do you think he's cute?
You must be worried. You must be worried.
Jokes.
I feel like Willemse outplayed. He's got great jumps, he's got great kicks, he's always alert,
Yeah.
he's ready to run.
Yeah.
He doesn't hesitate to go in and hit if he has to hit. So for me, I've got Willemse.
All right.
Yeah.
And your number 15? I like that.
Mine is for me. It's just my weekend special. It's
Okay.
Apele de Fasi.
Not Tian Swanepoel with his massive kicks.
No,
Fasi.
I will tell you why I'm picking Fasi. For me, Fasi is an overall fullback that you want.
Yeah.
He's an overall last man that you really want right at the back. He's the guy that you will know that you need to be 110% when it comes to the high ball. Fasi was the man for me. He's the man that is so very good in terms of his defensive line, that last man where he needs to make that last hit and all that stuff. And then of course, I think he's got an eye for the game.
Yeah.
You will see him a couple of times in the game. If it's not on, he will do the right thing. If it's on, he's going to damage you. So for me, I think Fasi was the one for me. Yeah, Swanepoel has got a potential. there's no two way about it. But if they say I must pick someone else tomorrow,
He's ready now.
Fassi now at fullback.
Number 9, number 10, and the
yeah.
kicker. Who's our kicker? Who's the one that we can rely on to actually win those matches for us?
Nodi, who you got at 10?
Is it Monestein?
Nodi, who you got?
I've got Kevin.
Cohen Bosch, okay.
And I've got Moneste. So I'm stuck between the two.
Yeah.
I feel like with Kevin, he was put in a lot of pressure. He's got very good kicks, and he's got warning signs. He kicks from the 60-meter line, and I feel like he's great. But also with Steyn, I feel like Steyn is able to adjust to the game when he's needed to do the kicks, and he does it. We look at Kevin with the last match. I feel like he was under pressure, so most of the kick he lost, he couldn't convert most of the kicks, and I feel if he's under that much pressure, he'll also actually lose the ball and he won't be able to kick.
But isn't that what you need? I mean, you're taking Cohen ahead of Elton, but isn't that what you need? Like somebody who can take the pressure. Hey, what do you say?
Different views. I've got different views. I will tell you what. A lot of the people, or perhaps maybe Rassi, Erasmus, and Jacques Ninabe, they were probably sitting there and thinking, Cohen, this was the game for you just to take. You might have really just, booked yourself out of the Springbok team to start. I don't care who says what. Nolly, the main important thing as the players, whether you're playing prop or fullback or whatever, or especially number 10, you are needed when it comes to the big games. I felt as if Cohen didn't really just come back very strongly. Yes, if you look at the Currie Cup, all the games, he was been very consistent and all that stuff. But I mean, this game against the Bulls, he could have really just closed it down. Hence, I will always go with Elton Yankees because I really think that Elton Yankees, he can be my number 10. Although they didn't play the finals, but then again, he's never really just let the team down and all that stuff. Monestein, once again, is he still quick enough to really play, or what? Is he really that keen? Monestein, remember,
he's won everything.
Yeah, he's won everything.
I mean, they called him an Opa there, uncle there in the Bulls. That should really just give you an idea. That he's more like a senior.
Yeah.
He's just controlling Pele and just all that stuff. But I think if Monestein is still keen and hungry to play for the Boks, I will have him in the squad system and all that stuff. But for my number 10, I'll definitely just go with Elton Yankees because he can take pressure so much.
All right, nice one. There we have it. We've just dissected the Carling Currie Cup final where the Bulls won 26-19, and also had a chat about the run-on 15 that we think would be if the Bok coaches were forced to choose just from domestic players, this is what it would be.
Yeah.
And very interesting selections there, and I think you've acquitted yourselves well, both of you, in defending your choices. But one of the things that's really cool about a day like this, when we are talking rugby, but also celebrating your birthday, is that Mozambique has actually come to the party. Mozambique, the restaurant right here in Mill Park where we are, has gone to the point where they say, you know what, they want to celebrate with us, and they're sponsoring a really nice treat for you, to say to you congratulations and happy birthday, Nolly. And we really hope that you do enjoy this treat that they're going to be bringing through. And once again, lady, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Nice one, eh?
Yay.
That's us from here at Mill Park at the Mozambique restaurant out in Johannesburg. It's cold, it's wintry. I'm with Mac Musina.
Nice
Masina.
for coffee, man.
Yeah, man, it's really good weather. And Nolim Kwadeni. My name's Kendall. Thanks very much for joining us. We will be back, and hopefully we'll be talking about British Irish Lions tour. Hopefully here in South Africa, but most probably down under in Australia. Until next time, bye-bye.